In this game, you are a kobold. You'll probably get eaten, possibly by your friends. You may be slain by chickens. You may burn up in a town in which you likely started that fire. You may even explode into tiny chaos particles after causing a paradox involving 3d6, a wizard's wand, and some gas station sushi. And while kobolds are bad at everything they do, this one's sure to be a ton of fun. This is Kobolds Ate My Baby.
Every day, dice roll, quick adventure calls, walking through tabletops, golden halls. Masters of pen and paper, RPGs of every flavor, talking about different creators. The choice of games is never greater. Come with us to games they run through, new, old, and interesting.
Welcome in episode 28, Masters of Pen and Paper. We are Finny and my man.
DG, how are you doing? Finny, are you ready to play as fuzzy little orange puffballs?
Yes, not to be confused with the lizard men. They are
No, these
time.
are not lizard kobolds. These are little fuzzy doggo.
These are
kobolds.
fuzzy doggo chaos beings. And
That's right.
that's what all we're here for.
That's right.
It's going to be a ton.
It's going to be a blast. So I had never heard of this game before, ever.
Neither.
And you were like, hey, here's a good one that we can run through. You give me a copy of the book. And I look at the cover and I'm like, this looks like Munchkin. And lo and behold, I go and look a little bit deeper into this. And it turns out that the artist, one John Kovalic, is also the artist for Munchkin.
Ta-da!
Right? Like it's crazy. And when you look at this book, you can see that immediately, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it's very much that art style.
It screams Munchkin-esque.
Yeah, and I love it. I am very drawn to that. I was happy with the art. I'm always happy with the art style, but I'm especially happy with the art style this time.
Created by Chris O'Neill and Daniel Hansen Landis, it was originally released in 1999. Now, we are not doing that version. We are doing the Orange Book Edition.
Yes.
And that was re-released in 2004 with a couple updated rules, and it uses the quote-unquote polymorph system developed by Mr. Chris O'Neill. And it is published by Ninth Level Games, I believe, published or
and who founded Ninth Level Games again?
Chris O'Neill and Daniel Hansen Landis.
That's right. The people who created this game,
so
they published it.
Yeah, they created this little studio, let's call it, right out of high school in 1999, and pushed this book out, and people have been playing this for 25 years now. That's crazy. And I'm just hearing about it recently. I don't know. Whatever.
It's really, really cool. And we were saying just before we got started, like, these guys are living the life. Can you imagine you go through high school and you're like, hey, I got an idea, and you build a game, and then you build a company for that game, and this is now what you do for your life.
And doing quite well for themselves.
Very well. Absolutely.
Yeah. In 2013, they did a Kickstarter to raise some funds to do a new printing of Kobolds Ate My Babies, and they were aiming for about $11,000 and ended up earning just shy of $66,000.
Yeah,
completely re-resurrecting the game.
That's right. They brought it and slapped it right back down, right? And I had mentioned that John Kovalic's artist for Munchkin, part of that Kickstarter stretch goals was a pack of expansion cards for Munchkin. So
perfect.
I mean, technically, we're in the same universe now.
Yeah.
Right? Like we're all in here together now at this point.
Yeah. All right. That's good.
I love it.
We love Munchkin.
Absolutely. Fantastic. Fantastic game. So obviously, when we're talking about Kobolds Ate My Baby, the name is, and I'm quoting from a Wikipedia entry here, so bear with me a little bit. But the name is a derivative reference to the Azaria Chamberlain disappearance, Australia, ring a bell kind of thing, and it's the famous misquote of "A dingo ate my baby," right? This was also referenced in Seinfeld. This was, it's like one of those pop culture things. But it's a play. It's a play on that. Kobolds Ate My Baby.
Very late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah. I mean, it was really funny then. It's still kind of funny now, but now it's more of like a, haha, remember when? And back then it was like, haha, remember this?
Yeah. The game was originally published by Dorkstorm Press, using something that they coined the beer system, the Brawn, Ego, Extraneous, and Reflexes. But that is out on this edition, I believe. I think we are straight.
I think it's all ninth level games. Yeah, Polymorph and ninth level games for this, but quite a history in this game, right? Yes. And I mean, and we're not talking like massive book here. Like this book itself's like 150 pages or so, all in. So I mean, it's technically an ultralight game, all things considered, right? So
it's 150 pages with large print.
Yeah,
and
like
lots
I mean,
of pictures.
It's an incredibly easy read, I think. Since we're talking about that, it's time for us to kind of lift the hood here and take a peek what's under it, right? Like it's time to get into the game itself.
Let's do it, baby. So in this game, we play as, surprise, a bunch of kobolds. Now, the book, Kobolds Ate My Baby, describes kobolds as being completely insignificant race of small, furry, dog-like humanoids with little in the way of redeeming qualities.
Yeah,
you heard that right.
100%. They want to set the stage real early to let you know you're not playing an Omega hero here.
You aren't even playing a hero.
You're not even playing the monster.
Yeah. This is about as far from D&D as you get.
Exactly. It specifically says they're not related to dragons or other sundry lizards, no matter what you may have heard from some other way more successful role-playing tome.
Bada bing.
So they kind of tongue-in-cheek mention like, hey, these aren't Dungeons and Dragons kobolds. These are their own things. So.
These are completely different trademarks.
Yeah.
On page 8 to 15 is all about what kobolds are, what they do, what they are good at or bad at, because they aren't very good at much, what gods they believe in, and who is in charge, etc., etc. It's actually a fun little read.
It's very nice.
The history and what they do. Yeah.
Also, if I may add, all hail King Torg.
All hail
King Torg.
And that's the thing that goes through that whole book too, is that anytime King Torg, all hail King Torg. Yeah. Everybody has to get up.
If King Torg is mentioned, that's the right. All hail rule. It's in there. Page 15. Make sure you get it right. It's important.
Kobolds Ate My Baby is powered by a system called Polymorph. Now, this is designed to be extra simple and use it consists of a D4, a D6, a D8, and a D10. Now, Kobolds Ate My Baby only uses D6s.
That's correct.
So that's right. Only D6.
Yeah.
That's all we're using.
You're only gonna need the power cubes.
That's right. And you're gonna need a couple of them. At least a few.
You could use one, but it'll be old real fast. So
yeah, exactly.
Go hit up your Monopoly and Yahtzee. We'll wait. Go grab yourself a handful of D6s.
And we'll get into how we use them and how that all works later on. Page 17 treats us to a summary of the game, kind of a breakdown of what's going to happen, who's going where and what, where and doing what. So you're going to make a character. obviously a kobold, and you're probably going to want to make a couple of them.
You're gonna want to come in with a handful, or at least ready to make a handful.
Yeah, because hey, kobolds aren't good at anything except for cooking and being cooked.
Yeah, they're a little squishy.
You have to figure out who's going on adventures. They're forced to gather food, but there's all sorts of adventures between getting food and bringing it back to feed King Torg. All hail King Torg. Because that's what we're doing. We're going to go get food and bring it back.
That's right.
That's literally what we do.
Yeah,
and all the shenanigans that get
things are going to happen. Don't get it twisted. Things are going to happen along the way. So it is still an adventure game at the heart of it. But
like most of these games that we have covered, you're going to have your players and you're going to have your game master. In this case, the game master is the mayor, and they're going to be adjudicating everything that is going on. Adjudicating impartially. And I do that in air quotes.
That's right. Yeah. It's as impartially as the mayor wants to be.
Yeah. Oh, as always, but even more so in this game. The mayor is going to describe the outcome of your actions, allowing you to either gather the treasure or the resources that you are looking for to continue your adventure, or you're going to fail it and then take a Kobold Horrible Death Check and probably die.
Yeah. And
we will touch on that.
We'll touch on that in a bit, but this is something that is very much part of the humor of the book. Is they mentioned the Kobold Horrible Death Check a bunch. And we're on about page 17 at this point. If you want to jump ahead, I think it's like 36 by the time they actually get to it. Right?
Yeah, it's a ways in.
Yeah, and it mentions it quite a few times. So just beware. We're going to bring that up. We will talk about it later, but it's not for right now.
I did have to skip ahead, try and figure out.
Yeah, because it's constantly dangling it in front of your face, right? But I mean, to sum it up, this is basic TTRPG stuff, right? You make a character, you go on an adventure. There's a GM called the mayor. You do stuff. The mayor says yay, nay. You make death checks and you do your things. And that's it. And it's all with D6s.
Rinse and repeat. Yeah.
Nice and simple.
It's very simple. Again, this book is laid out very nicely from start to finish. It walks you through everything. It's a super easy read.
I really like the way it's laid out.
So nicely read. Yeah, so the way the book is laid out is we go through the rules of the game, then we build a character, and then we get to the important GM stuff that the actual players don't have to read. It's very nicely laid out with that stuff. And then there's a bunch of tables at the end with a character sheet. The index is a very nice index. I like indexes.
It's very nicely laid out. Yep.
Yes. Especially for such a short book. It's nice.
Exactly. And that's the entirety of the book, right? Like
that's it.
It's laid out very nicely, and it reads like a storybook more so than a rule book. So
it does.
I found starting at the beginning and getting to the end, this one's probably the easiest one we've done, not counting the super ultra light rule sets that we've done.
Yeah,
right?
You can't count those.
Those don't count. Those are one pagers. But for like a full-fledged game, there was no issue for me getting from the start to the end of this book because it flows really nice. Like I like how they set it up that we're going to go through the rules first, then you'll build your character, and then once you get your character, you're ready for adventure. Meanwhile, the mayor's going to do their thing. They're going to build the game for you, and we're going to play. And I was reading some stuff online that people are like from knowing zero to playing the game within an hour, like a very short pick up and go point.
I can see that. Yeah. That checks out because it's very like, first of all, it's a simple system. And then second of all, it's a very easy, well laid out book to read through,
and it's interesting. It's got that flavor to it that makes it interesting to actually go. It's not just 3-column heavy text. At the dawn of time, there once was a sun that created the world. Right? It's like, not again. Right?
It reads like a child's book almost, right?
Yeah. Honestly, like every page I was like, it was like the instruction book for Munchkin.
Yeah.
Right? Like
exactly.
It really was. It felt that way. It's incredibly well done. and kudos to them. But yeah,
For those of you that have not played Munchkin, go buy yourself.
do yourself a
Munchkin and
favor.
play
Yeah,
it
it's like
because
$15 for a
it's-
set of the cards.
and super simple to play.
Very simple. But yeah, so essentially the way that's the reason why that's important to identify is that's how we're going to run through this. So we typically jump into the character creation first and then the rules. We're actually going to do it reverse because the way that the book's laid out here. So we're going to talk about the rules and then we'll get into the character sheet, which is why that's important to point out.
A little different from
A little
what we
bit of
usually
different
do.
from the standard, but still
Suck
kind of
it
the same.
up.
Yeah, you'll be all right. You'll be okay.
You're gonna listen to the whole episode anyway.
We should jump in like actions and saves because that's kind of the meat and potatoes of the game itself here.
An action is anything that your kobold is trying to do, obviously.
Yep.
Now, there's a chance that doing what they want will fail.
Yep.
And that is where the dice need to be rolled.
I want to climb a tree. There's some risk.
There's some risk because you'll fall on your head. A save is anything that your kobold wants to not happen. Now, these are things like dodging the wrenches, dodging the balls, or, stuff like that.
Yeah. Surviving a fall, failing to be hypnotized.
Trying not to be hypnotized. Stuff like that. And these actions or these saves are done on the mayor's turn.
That's right.
Now, I will specify the mayor doesn't roll dice.
That's correct. We're back in similar to Merkborg, where the GM's not rolling the dice. You're doing the rolling. That's right. And so something happens. It's your fault.
If your character dies, that is all on you.
Baby.
That's not the judge's fault. Depending on what type of action or save your kobold is trying to perform, the mayor will help you decide which of the 4 results you're going to try to achieve with your action. Now, these results are eat, feat, beat, or meet. Now, those confused the heck out of me to start with, but they are super simple.
Yeah. We'll dive into them in just a second.
We will,
just a little bit.
Hot second. Once you know what you need to roll, you roll a d6, you check your resolver, which is a handy little card that comes with your character sheet. And if it matches one of the numbers listed on that, you succeed.
Yep.
If it doesn't match, you fail.
Yep.
Ta-da!
And you probably have to make that Kobold Horrible Death Check.
Yeah.
And that, give us a little bit more time for that. It's coming.
It's coming. The kobolds are the only ones that roll, not the mayor.
Yep.
Because impartial is.
Yeah. The book makes it clear you only have yourself to blame. That's a direct quote on page 19.
Yeah. So for our action results, we have now eat is anything that kobolds do with their heads. Mm-hmm. This includes eating, biting, but also a few things like thought, memory, planning, talking, etc., etc., etc. Anything that is in the general head area is eat.
That's eat.
The corresponding save would be avoiding mind control, charm, etc. Now, these are your kind of constitution wisdom saves for you D&D people.
Yeah, I thought it might be nice to kind of point to like what it might be. Yeah. It's really loose here, loosey-goosey, but this would be close to like your wisdom and constitution saves if you ever had to make them.
If you're coming here from D&D, throw all that out.
Yeah. Some of it will be useful as in how to roll a dice.
Roll a dice.
But outside of that, And I mean, the concept here is like, so wisdom checks as in like, I'm trying to remember something. Constitution check.
I'm trying to remember.
I'm trying not to throw up.
I don't want to. Yeah.
Right. Stuff like that.
Stuff like that. Next up, we have feet. And now this is your kind of dexterity stuff. This is the running, jumping. Now, this also includes pickpocketing and being fast.
Yep.
Stuff like that. Just whatever is
reaction time stuff.
Yeah. The corresponding save for that is like falling, avoiding falling, running away, dodging traps, trying not to get stabbed.
Yeah. Yeah. Dexterity based
dexterity saves. Yeah. After that, we have beat, which is breaking stuff, causing mayhem. This is your attack skill.
That's right. Yeah.
Now, the save for that is your blocking. and that is typically strength.
Yeah. I love page 21. We're on 20 and 21 in the book, by the way, if you're following along. But 21's where it's got beat, and the first line is, when a problem comes along, you must beat it.
Yeah. I do.
That's the humor throughout this book. I love it. It's so good.
The kinds of jokes that are strewn through this whole thing are just, it's
very,
one-liner
very good.
after one-liner, and it is, I'm there for it all day long.
Yeah.
Meat is your strength and your guts, standing your ground, something meaty.
Yeah.
And the corresponding saves would be eating things that are questionable, keeping it down.
Yeah.
These are your constitution-ish
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. It's the closest thing I think I could find would be his constitution, kind of. But I mean, keep in mind, they're their own thing, right? The polymorph system is its own thing. And these skills within Kobolds Eat My Babies is their own thing. This is not to be equal to any other game. But I find it easier to draw lines like that so that I can wrap my head around.
Yeah.
It is,
It helps differentiate things a little bit and connect dots.
Exactly.
We have a crit and fumble in here.
Kind of,
now. These are replaced with kobolds and cheats.
Yeah.
I love this.
Yeah.
So rolling a 1 appears to be a good thing.
Yeah.
As long as the action is something that kobold excels at.
And it's a little, this system was a little bit confusing to me.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So as far as I can tell, if you are good at it, if a kobold is good at it, they can do it.
Right. Like normally rolling a 1 would fail unless it's something that you would be good at. Right.
Like cooking.
Yeah. Like
kobolds are good at cooking.
Yeah, the kobold's going to bite you on the leg. You roll a 1.
Yeah.
It's a success because it's something the kobold would be good at.
Exactly. So there's I can see how this can get out of hand.
Yeah. Yeah, and they make it crystal clear. They say they will have to wheedle and cajole and explain it to the mayor. So at the end of the day, they still have to, if they want to claim that it's a kobold roll, they still have to convince the mayor of such. The mayor can just say, I'm sorry, that's just not going to happen.
Exactly. Yeah. The mayor has the last say at all times. Now, rolling a 6 will automatically succeed by using cheat. Now,
if you want to. And again, this is why it's a bit confusing. You don't have to, but it gives you the option to do.
One of the examples they give is like, you want to climb to the 2nd story and you roll a 6. Well, there's conveniently a ladder there for you to climb the 2nd story. Stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Oh, just goofy stuff. Whatever. Rolling a 6, if you decide to cheat, it will result in you taking a Kobold Horrible Death Check.
Yeah.
Coming. Don't hold your horses.
Yep. We're getting close. We're only a couple pages off.
Allowing you, this is what you allowed to succeed. So you kind of cheat a little bit and you get dinged for it.
You make your check.
It happens.
And if you succeed, you're good. If you fail, you probably did.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I will say that some of the results for the resolving card are 6s. So if it rolls a 6, you don't automatically.
Yeah, it's not something that automatically. You have to decide to do so, right? So, but it's
likewise. Some of the results for the 1 is there. Correct, I believe.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It all depends on your card itself.
Yeah.
But.
Depends on what you're doing.
Yeah, let's say, for example, in the Resolver card, it's got a 4 or 5 or the success and you roll a 6. Well, now you can choose to use that 6 to succeed by saying, I'm cheating. You have to identify that you're cheating and let the mayor know what it is you're doing to cheat. And then you make your check. And if you survive it, then you keep moving. That's kind of the premise of it, right?
It took me a couple reads.
It's a little bit on the confusing side, but it's just another opportunity to add a bit of spice to the game, right?
Yes. So I'm convinced that this game is for the beer and pretzel drinkers.
Yep.
Around the table Friday night.
We're gonna have a good time.
It's getting rowdy.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm convinced that's how it's supposed to be. Advantage and disadvantage does exist in this. It's in the form of 2d6 for advantage. We only need one success on it.
Mm-hmm.
For disadvantage, you need 2 successes on the d6.
Yep.
So pretty tough to do the disadvantage.
Yep. Yeah, and those obviously are scenario based. Stuff happens. The mayor will let you know if you have advantage or disadvantage.
One thing that sets the kobolds of this universe up above all others is their ability to bark. That's right. These kobolds bark.
That's right.
Now, barking allows you to reroll whatever it is that didn't go in your favor, although you do have to be alive for this to work.
That's correct.
To do this, the player, not the character, the player at the table has to get up and start barking, and I quote, bark, growl, and generally act like a kobold to pick up the dice and try again.
Yep.
Each time someone barks, it must be louder, better, and more kobold-like than the last successful bark.
The rules are just so ridiculous. It is like I do really enjoy the humor in it. And I mean, and if you look at that and you're like, this is dumb, we're not doing that. It's your game. You do what you want to do.
It's your game.
Like it's very simple.
So basically, all this would allow you to do is re-roll your save or your attack or whatever, but at the expense of it having to be better and more kobold-like. And of course, this is all being adjudicated by the mayor, so he can say no. Yeah, that's not as good as Fred's over here.
Exactly. Ridiculous rules. It's ridiculous. I love it. It's an example of the humor inside the book, right?
Yeah, and like the whole
book
is like this. Damage. NPCs or NKCs, non-kobold characters that are enemies have hearts to track their health points, and you roll to reduce these hearts. Yep. Your PCs roll Kobold Horrible Death Checks whenever they are hit. It's coming.
We're close. It's like right there.
We're like
just a couple points away.
A couple more points.
But the intention here is the enemies have hearts, aka kind of like HP, sort of
life. Yeah,
and you don't.
When you roll for an effect, a 6 will allow the dice to explode. Now, we covered exploding dice in the last
That was
episode?
the last episode, yep. Yeah, in 7th
with
C.
The exploding D10s. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this basically lets you re-roll or roll again and add it to the pile. This stacks so you can do a lot if you are lucky enough, which I am not, and nor is DG.
No, this doesn't happen for me unless it's a bad thing. Then it'll happen all the time.
It's a bad. Kobolds don't get a lot in the way of storage. Yep. They have a left paw and a wrong paw. That's it.
Yeah, there's no right and left here. There's your left paw and your wrong paw. You can hold it in your left paw or you can hold it in your wrong paw.
So they must be lefties.
That's right.
Good to know.
That's fair.
If you're caught holding more than 2 items, you're cheating and subject to the Kobold Horrible Death Check and must drop the items back down to 2.
This is like straight out of Munchkin, right?
Yeah.
Like straight out of Munchkin.
Yeah. You're only allowed so much. Treats are things that don't fit into your paws. Helmets, scrolls, golden idols, etc. These are all considered treats.
That's right. Can't hold it with your paws. Okay. It's a treat. Finny, it's time.
We're here.
We made it, finally.
Big, bad Kobold Death Checks. Whenever a kobold takes damage, is hit and fails an action or a save, cheats, etc., does something dangerous, anything in its fashion, they are subject to the trademarked Kobold Horrible Death Check. You'll tick off a little skull on your character sheet. Mm-hmm. You'll roll a 2d6 and add your new current total of death checks to the roll. Yep. Now, if that sum of your rolled dice plus your death checks is equal to or less than 12, your kobold doesn't die.
Simple.
He stays alive for now. Now, if it does roll higher than a 12, your kobold is dead. And in fact has died from a random, horrible kobold death. This is on page 130 and 131. Yep. There's a handy dandy little table.
Well, multiple tables. And the mayor is the only person that cares about this. The players do not need to worry about these tables.
No.
I thought this was such a cool idea for hit points.
Yes, it is. I like it.
Right? We're not tracking numbers. You're simply just making a check.
We got a couple numbers. Well, we got a couple boxes to tick off. Mm-hmm. And then we roll.
Yep.
And then we count everything.
That's right.
And if it's 12 or lower, we're good.
Exactly.
As soon as it's above that, we grab a new character because he's dead by some random act of violence. At this point, you would politely bribe the mayor for a new character sheet and start a new kobold.
There you go. The character's dead. On
now,
your move.
Speaking of new kobolds, let's make one.
Yeah, it's time to make a new character. I'm excited about this.
Yes. On page 42 is where we start making our character. 42 out of 150, that's about 1/3 of the way through. Mm-hmm. That's not bad. The book has a handy dandy QR code in it to get your very own character sheet, but there are a couple in the backs of the book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And there's a printer-friendly one for scanners and a colored one for
that's right. And I'll put a link in the in the description of the podcast because I scanned the QR code and guess what, Finny? It did not take me to the character sheet. So
where does it take you?
It takes you to the Ninth World website. And yes. You can get to the character sheets.
You got to
do some clicking. So what I'll do is I'll give you a direct link instead. And so you can check the description and you're good to go. But this is the problem. This is the problem with QR codes is that they only work as long as the link is valid. And unfortunately, they've made some changes and they've since broken this QR code. So it will not take you where you need to go to.
That's unfortunate.
It's the way it goes. That's the way of the internet, you know. But so
Papa DG's here.
That's right. I got you guys. So. I got you.
First off, it recommends getting a lot of these character sheets because you'll need
quite a few.
More than a lot. First up, we need to do choose a role.
Mm-hmm. And we mean roll as in both ROLE and ROLL.
Bada bang. Wow. Yeah. Zingers all night.
Because the roles in this game are based on different varieties of the D6s.
Yes. Yeah. So they're all D6s with different flavors. The D6, the six-sider, the die six, or the rectangular, or the regular die. Sorry, not the rectangular die.
The rectangular die would be crazy. But no, the regular die. And they're all different from each other.
Each comes with its own style of play and focus on one of the different actions. Now, again, those are eat, beat, meet, feet.
Correct. Yeah. And so you'll look through the different roles that are here. For example, the six-sider says you're always at the forefront of the action. You certainly have 12 death checks. That's normal, by the way. You are the same die, but it explodes just like every other roll. Like the other dice choices, the six-sider is really active and likes to run around. Unlike other rolls, they're probably good at things, physical action, combat, and skills. You shine when rolling against feet. So it's a little bit different than the rest of them, right? And so read through them because they're all a little bit different. They're all fun, honestly.
Yeah. It's all good.
And you're not going to have them long enough to really worry about it anyways, so...
No, change them up.
Start rolling Why a D4 and see what comes up.
That's right. First off, we roll 1d6 to determine how many words of human our kobold knows and has learned. These go under the human words. Next up, we roll a d6 to determine what we taste like. Now, this will give us different variety of advantage from each of the actions to being on fire. Per se, which it doesn't really explain in the book, but they keep bringing it up. So I assume that you light on fire at least a couple times.
I went through this a few times and I couldn't quite figure out what that means. So page 49, the flavor profiles, there's bitter, sour, salty, umami, sweet, spicy. Spicy just says fire is all it says.
Because at the beginning of the book, it states that kobolds are good cooks and they are good cooks.
Yeah, totally.
So,
but the first 4 give you an advantage on different rolls. Sweet gives you advantage on rolls to be cute and charming, and then spicy is just as fire. So, I'm assuming that's left up to the mayor as to what that actually means. But yeah, super fun.
Probably means you can't be eaten.
That's right.
Very
exactly.
Well. Next up, we have to make the big choice. That is our job, our class. And there are 36.
Yep.
You heard that right. 36 different classes in the Orange Book, with each with their own treat and what item they're holding in their wrong paw.
And there's 3 different choices on how to go about this. There's the basic option, which is like, we're going to give you your standard run-of-the-mill starting party, right? There's the advanced, where you roll 2d6, and wherever you land, that's what you get. And then the third option is basically to select your standard and then go 6 over and 2 down on the chart. And method 2, which is just a complicated way of saying select something at random on the sheet here, which is an option for you as well.
I would be picking a random because we have anything
you've got
from the alcoholist
alcoholist
to the bootlicker. To the bootlicker. To the court jester, to the influencer.
Yep. There's a lot here. Like 6d6 tables, right? So you get your money's worth for what it's worth.
I love them. I love every single one of them. Pages 52 to 87 are the various types of kobold jobs and their specific components. So once you roll your class, be sure to flip to it, mark everything down from it.
Yeah.
You can tell they had a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Like a ton of fun making
very
these
much
job
so.
classes.
Yeah.
Like,
each one is just like, they're very simple, but they're punchy and very entertaining. So I read through them all. They were a lot of fun. The cowpoke is my particular favorite. I don't know if you got to this one. It's on page 63. It says you wear a 10-pint hat and work the range all the livelong day. You also tend to say things like, yeehaw, giddy up and go on, girl. Or go on, get. Your bonus is called doggy. You roll with advantage whenever you're trying to ride something.
Nice.
Your gear, you can have spurs, a lasso named Ted, sarsaparilla, a mouth harp, or the backy. And the backy has an asterisk on it that says, whenever you spit, it clangs in that spittoon that always seems to be right next to you. And you also get a rating for depictions of tobacco use. So it's just really fun. You also get a mount, which can be a big lizard, a dire rat, a chicken, a goat, a bike, or a skateboard. It's that one's really fun. I quite enjoy that one.
Goofy. I got the mall ninja. You don a black tactical hoodie and pull it over your head. You have ordered the latest in 10,001 folded cutlery from Knives R Us. You start with the real ultimate power. You are a mammal. Your purpose is to fight all the time, gain an advantage when you flip out and try to kill people. You then roll D6 and start with either 1d6 scrolls of hiding shadows, 1d6 chucking stars, 1d6 smoke pellets, food court, pizza, mall ninja sword, or roll on the D666 item chart chucks. You heard that right. That's 666 versions of nunchucks.
Very different versions of nunchucks. It's good. Every class is super fun, and I recommend going through them all. There's there's 36 choices in there. There's definitely something,
and each one of them is
They're all
gold.
great.
Once we have our job, we have to determine what's in our left paw. We do this by rolling on D6 and controlling the table on page 88. You'll then roll on the corresponding table from there. The foodstuffs, weapons, recycled gear, garbage, treasures, or MacGuffins to determine what that item is, and then one last D6 to determine the item's style, which can be big, little, spicy, weird, magic, or dangerous. The dangerous items need to be used with a death check every time you use them because they're dangerous.
Yeah, that's right. So you're just a little kobold. So if you've got if you've got dangerous beer, every time you use it, you got to make a danger check.
You could die
from the dangerous beer. So it's again more flavoring here. 6 different tables that are a graph that is also 6x6. So a lot of variations here. And there's just like, there's endless amounts. Most of it's flavory stuff, but like, the MacGuffins table is really fun. There's the math sword, a love interest in Canada, the golden arches, D6 gems, a Medusa head. Like, there's just random things. Nice. You know what I'm saying?
Just
like
everything.
It's super cool. So very, very cool.
Love it. Page 96 kicks off all of the magic items in this, or magic in this game, not the magic items.
This great.
Is represented in the
this is great
form of scrolls. Yeah, I love this. They don't read them, mind you, because they can't read them. They literally scroll the scroll.
That's right. So they get scrolls. They can cast magic, but they get scrolls. They have to throw the scroll.
Yeah. So the book states, it says that the player must take a piece of actual paper, crumple it up, and throw it at their target. So I know what the rule at my table would be, and it would be we need like 500 full scap just throw paper.
Yeah, it's well, it's a choice. It's more chaos, and I do love it. I think that would get old really fast. We're not condoning wasting paper by any means. Maybe you have the spell paper and you choose to crumple it up and throw it as much as you want. But anyway, it's I thought it was a nice touch for them to give you the ability to cast magic, but the kobolds don't read it. They just whip the scroll at you and magic happens, right? Like
and magic happens, no, I will say that using these scrolls are considered dangerous, which means that each time you do, you need to make a Kobold Horrible Death Check.
Because you're not actually casting the spell, you're just throwing the scroll.
And paper is dangerous because you can get paper cuts. You can also create spells by rolling on the nifty or rando tables on page 97 to create your own spells, such as the gigantic zapping monster bucket or the frozen big portal of cleanliness.
And these again are they're 4 columns and 6 rows, so you can roll 3d6 or 4d6 and you combine part 1, part 2, and some combination of 3 and 3A and 3B. So you kind of work your way across the table, right? So very cool.
Exactly.
Cool stuff. I like it.
Love it.
We love tables. Big fan.
Page 98 and 99 is an actual play, which all hail
King Torg.
All hail King Torg. It's a good page.
It's a bit of a joke. It's a page and a half, and it says the actual play, and it's basically you take a bunch of death checks and then you're done. It's game over. So very cool. Spot on for the humor. It's exactly the it fits the rest of the book.
From here on out, we're into the GM booklet, starting on page 103, and this is filled with the standard GM pep talk, explanation on how the game works, rundown of a game, examples of play, actual examples of play, stuff like that. I
liked the first line in here. It says, if you're reading this section, you're either glutton for punishment or recently won a vicious election to be the mayor, or most likely lost a die roll. So congratulations. Poor DM, GM, mayor, judge, referee, whatever you call it. We are always
Never.
patted on the back and pushed into the middle.
That's right. Page 104 covers victory points. They are points given to kobolds who complete their task or for killing NKCs. It's defined as how you know which kobold is winning, as the kobold with the most victory points at the end of the game is considered the winner. Now, each table is each table. You do you. We are here for fun. If everyone's having fun, we all win.
And they go into detail on how you can spend to victory points in page 153. So if this is something you want to do, these are options.
Yeah.
You want to put these in, you put them in.
Yeah.
You don't want to put them in, you don't put them in. That's your game, your choice. But 104 for the basics and then 153 for the specifics.
There are a few other optional rules. The GM section presents them as such, with essentially giving you permission to play however you want. These rules go from page 105 to 108, and official optional rules.
These are the negligence rule, the Edidedic memory rule, the take a check rule, the bastard check rule, the beer and pretzels. There's choices, there's stuff in here. You decide what you want to do with them. Use them, don't use them. I did like at the bottom of the beer and pretzels rule, it says, at the end of the night, you and your friends are the ones playing this game. If you want to change the rules, go ahead. It's your game. We aren't coming to your house to follow up. Plus, we already got your money.
Yeah. Love it. Page 109 outlines how to create adventures. So this is pretty straightforward stuff at this point. If you need help with dungeon creation or anything, check out episode 25.
A couple episodes ago,
where we covered all
we did
that.
all the thing.
Ta-da.
Dungeons aren't going to be super useful for you here, but I mean, they might be.
No.
But yeah, definitely.
The adventure creation is explained in the menu system for meal prep, exciting places, normal people, and unusual people. And this isn't added to spice it up. It's got some tables and charts and, you know, how it all goes with this.
Yeah, the intention here is basically to give you the ability to randomize and create things, right? That's kind of
on the
what
fly.
it is, right?
Yeah.
It's to help you out a little bit.
Yeah. These all start on page 119 and go to 128. Then on 129, we talk about Kobold Death and the random horrible Kobold Death charts that start on page 130 and go to page
right.
140.
10 different pages.
You heard that right. There are 10 pages of horrible Kobold
Yeah, and they
deaths.
start at like easy stuff and they get to like ridiculous. So like some of the easy ones, Hail of Arrows, Falling Cow, the 9th law of thermodynamics, you unimplode into a blast of chaos energy, right? But like as you go, slightly more complex is the next one. Missing pieces chart is the next one. The 9th level of self-referential Kobold Horrible Death chart. The Kobold Dudes chart of like horrible deaths, man chart. The death by gamer tropes chart. Right. And then there's also something called the baby horrible death chart, which is if the kobold doesn't die, but the baby does. It's just there's a lot of ridiculous stuff on here and it's great and you should read through them. If you're the players, leave this section alone. Let the mayor handle this because I think it would be more fun to get it random.
It would be a lot of fun if you did
100%.
coming.
Yeah, and you just roll at random on these tables, right? The mayor can choose what might make sense, but if it were me, I would take the tables and I would roll it completely at random. There's got to be generators out there, too, that have these built in, so do some searching and stuff and find out what we can.
On page 142, we have a glossary outlining all the different terms used throughout the game.
Kobold Dictionary.
For a quick look up and ta-da, the back page. We're done.
It's fantastic.
I'll close it up. Yeah, you know how to play now.
That's it.
Ta-da.
Nice and simple.
Yeah, that's it. DG, what are you feeling on this one?
So, I mean, obvious. I've made it a little obvious, but this game's a riot, right? Like, the art style was the immediate thing that brought me in. I love that Munchkin look. Like, it is It is incredibly well done. They knocked it out of the park, in my opinion, by taking on John Kovalic to do the art. There's a brilliant idea. That was great. Good on them. Munchkin's great. You can see it throughout the entire book. The game itself is quick and punchy, and I love that. I had mentioned earlier, I looked up a couple things online, and people are saying, up and running within an hour. So this is like your Friday night when everyone's kicking around, wants something to do that's a little bit heavier than a board game. Honestly, I would definitely run this one. This one is one of the games that we've done where I'm like, I really want to give this one a try. It would be fun with the right group of people who just want to have a fun time.
I'm in love with this
so
game
cool.
too. Like, it's the perfect game to sit down with some buddies, have a cold beer and some warm pretzels, and I think I'm using this word right. Vibe.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't know. I'm not hip.
We're old, but
lingos,
it's one of those things where you would have a fun time playing this one for sure.
Yeah. The sheer amount of goofiness that will come out with this game, it'll have you giggling like a little school girl till your sides hurt. Like, it'll be insane. The design is super simple and straightforward and easy for anyone to pick up, whether they've played TTRPGs at all or not. You have target numbers you need to roll, and those are on your cards. So you just roll the dice, and if it lines up with that number, you're good, right? It's very simple. And the rest is up to the mayor to decide. It's a great one to break up the long campaigns, I think. So if you want to take a break from your 3-year D&D campaign for a night and be like, hey guys, that last session was a little heavy. Let's break it up. I want something a little lighter.
Let's have a fun session.
That being said, it's also one that you can just sit down one night and just goof off for a few hours, right?
For sure. Yeah, Beautiful. Meant to be played with a group of friends. I don't think it would lend itself very well to solo play. You could probably do it, but this one's definitely like the party game, the party TTRPG. I would look at it as that way.
I would dare say better in person.
Absolutely.
Tough, more difficult online.
Yeah, I think you have to play off of each other to play this one properly.
Yeah. And as you're in a room together, it's a lot easier to bounce off of each other. You get that energy going and everybody feels it.
That's it. That's all. Kobolds Ate My Baby. Fantastic game. Finny, it is officially time then for us to jump into the post-pod. 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 It is time for
that time for
post-pod. Yeah. We're working on it.
Tried something
working on it. Finny, the post-pod question of this episode is: how much should players shape the story versus the GM's plan? Which one should drive the game?
Ooh, that's tough. I'm going to say it depends on the type of game you're playing, whether it's a sandbox or a, kind of rail shooter kind of thing. But in general, I think the GM should control roughly about 30% of it, and the rest of it should be up to the players to the GM has that point where they got to get their players to, right? And the players got to work the story to get to that point. But the GM does have to make sure that they get to that point. But everything in between should be up to the players, in my books. That is a difficult thing to do as a GM. It is a difficult thing to do, to let go and let the players do things like that, because if they choose not to, you have to kind of shoehorn them back into it without actually shoehorning them in.
Yeah.
See previous episodes.
That's right. Specifically the one on player agency. To me, I've always looked at GMing as I write the chapters, the players write the pages, right? Like, my job as the GM is to set out a web of things and the player's job is to live within that world and do their thing. If I'm doing my job correctly, the players will feel like they're the ones navigating and driving the story at all times. They should, but with an asterisk, because the thing is in the form of like a West Marches game, which is kind of what we're bordering on, right? If the players can do anything, that means that the DM is going to have downtime, right? If you decide to do something I'm not prepared for, then I'm not prepared for it. I need time to prepare for it, which means our game is over. And so the games that I play in, I like to ensure that we have kind of the bullet point list. Not necessarily to say this is all you can do. You don't see the bullet point list as the players, but my job is to fill the world with enough hints in it that you go, oh, this one sounds like something I want to do. Let's follow that pathway, and stuff happens. But the entire time you're making the decisions of what's happening. I'm filling the blanks. I write the chapter. Yeah, you write the page. You put the detail into it. I'm simply just saying, we're going west. And you're going to say, well, first we went to the cave, and then we went to the lake, and then we went to the trees, and then we went on the road, right? And then we got to the west.
Again, it's a difficult.
It's a careful. This dance,
is a difficult thing. Yeah. Many GMs have a very difficult time with it at best.
And it only comes with practice.
But something that does come with experience and practice, and failing miserably.
Yeah, if you've got a good group, they'll make fun of you just a little bit, and then you'll be good to go, right?
Yeah. And if not, you kick one of them into the seat for a little while. That's
the best way, is to let a non-GM do the GMing.
Yeah. There you go. And you'll see how they like it.
And make sure you like extra lean into the ribbing on the right.
They'll do fine, because you're on the other side. Yeah,
everyone's going to help. You're always going to help.
Characters. Yes.
That is
that's it.
That is it for this episode 28. I want to thank each and every one of you for choosing this episode to listen to, whether you chose to download it or stream it. We just appreciate that you chose to get here and to this point in the podcast. We do a whole bunch of stuff. The podcast is posted on YouTube and on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts. You can find it by searching Masters of Pen and Paper podcast on YouTube. If you go to youtube.com/@DadGamingOnline, you can find all episodes there, as well as all of our streams of Dungeons and Dragons, which we do live every Sunday night at 9 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And you can find that on both the YouTube page and on twitch.tv/DG Online.
We also have an email that you can reach out to us if you so choose. That email is mastersofpenandpaper@gmail.com. Send us a little email. Let us know what's going on. See if you've played this game.
Let us know what your favorite Kobold job class is.
Yes, we love it, all of it. We also have a Discord server. There will be a link to that in the description below. Pop in, we got a little corner of the world for us to gush over TTRPGs and stuff.
Yeah, come and say hi. Come chat with us.
Bunch of cool people in there too.
And that's it. That's everything. Thank you so much one last time for listening to this one, and we will catch you on the next one, which will be episode 29. And until then, have a great one.
Take care, everyone.